Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Star Wars Galaxy of Yeti here for another roster review. After my last one, I was asked by a couple of people to do some for them, so I'm just kind of going down in the order that they asked. We've got the BlueUSM here. Apparently he's a very neat warrior. And I'm not quite sure where the Yeti is. He was off doing some cat stuff a minute ago, so it's just me and my brew. Anyway, so as you can see right now, he did pretty well in his championship rank. He's at Division 8, which puts him under 1.29 million. Got an arena team, top 25. Got to do something about those fleets. But anyway, get into the inventory, and as you can see, it's about as disgusting as an account with this low of a GP can be. I mean, 18 G12s, 7 G11s, and then it's just, there's a little bit of G8s and such, G9s, and then just the stuff he leveled with early, and then just nothing. One's all down, including such magnificent tunes like CLS and Han Solo. They're just chilling down here all by their lonesome. No gear to keep them company. Anyway, going back to you want to, let's see if we can't separate just by power then, I guess, so we can get a better look at the Zeta score here. I mean, there's just a ton of Zetas. He's got 21 Zetas. I mean, normally when you get something at this, when you're looking at somebody's account at this GP level, you're expecting maybe like 2 G12s, 3 G12s, you know, if you're lucky, or 5 or 6 Zetas. So this is something that's definitely like an account that he's been working on for a long time, and really just focused all of the gear, all of the Zeta mats, and just made the leanest account he can make. And let's just go down and have a look at some of the key factions here. I always go to my sisters first. I don't see a thing for Night Sisters, which is unfortunate. It's one of those like when you're in a guild of his level, which I think I looked, it was like 160 million or something like that. You know, you're going to be in the H-Sith, and you're going to be trying to get the best gear you can out of there. And you know, sisters are a huge help, and they're really light to gear, so that's something I would have liked to have seen. They're easy to get. Basically, I'll go as far as to say that the two easiest power teams to get are Night Sisters and Jedi Knight Revan, in terms of just getting it early and getting him geared up and getting him in the arena and really start producing quickly. You don't really get much better than shifting from Bastila into into Revan, or going Night Sisters full out and then moving on from there. So it's disappointing to see there's no sisters, but you know, I'm pretty sure he makes up for it with this. He's got both Revans. As you can look, I mean, Marauder and Trooper are underway. It looks like Sith Assassin as well. That's great. If he gets these up, you know, he had Traya, so you can work these with your Revan. You can work them with Traya, and all three of them are great tunes. I quite like Sith Assassin, and Marauder just hits like a truck, and then Sith Trooper is just a decent tank. So we're gonna move on to his Jedi and go have a look-see there. Once again, he's got all of the stuff that you really need. Looks like he's going to be Malak ready as well. It's just, was it? I mean, yeah. Just needs a little. It's like, I think he can do it without candy, right? I believe so. But yeah. Wouldn't mind seeing some gear drop on Canderous for this OR team to be have a little bit more oomph. I mean, Zalbar and Mission are fantastic for it with the Karth lead. I don't like Juhani. I think she's complete trash. I would have much preferred a T3 M4, but you don't really need the light side. The light side doesn't need that. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here for the light side of the Mallet quest, really. And let's see. Let's go look at what's going on with the new factions. Nothing as of yet. Nothing as of yet. That's not something I'm too bothered with. Let's check out his empire. I mean, that's about as good as an old school Empire team as you're gonna find. You got the Key Zeta on the lead, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and then I mean, Thrawn at 12 would have been nice, but I mean, I can't fault him for that. I mean, this is pretty excellent. That'd be nitpicking. Nothing for the walks. Not really much going on here, just a G8 crew. If he's got nothing going on there, then you know he's not doing resistance. I mean, there's not too much I really want to look at here because everything seems to be going except for here. Alright. This, on the other hand, is incorrigible. This should be. This is something that I think deserves focus. Bounty hunters, specifically Bosk, for his Hound's Tooth, is going to be one of the most important characters with one of the best Zetas. That's going to just improve his faction. I think getting bounty hunters is another one of those factions where it's like you really need them. This is going to give you Chewbacca. It's going to give you a chance at the Millennium Falcon. Although the Falcon's getting kind of pushed a little bit by Negotiator and whatever's going to happen with the Separatists, maybe a Nuke Gunray ship or Grievous cap ship or something like that. But yeah, like I really would like to see some development here. He hasn't been getting the stars from Dengar out of the shop at all. Like, it doesn't look like this is even any kind of a focus. So that's a little bit disappointing. I know, like, bounty hunters are just a really good team that causes the other opponent to just burn something good. So in something like GA or Territory Wars or something like that. So it's a little bit disappointing to see no bounty hunter love there. Let's go and look at his ships. And this is where the big problem sits. So it's like one of those when you're looking at the account on the character side, you're just like, well, this is just about as good as it gets at this GP. And here's where you see the real sacrifice, because he doesn't really have a fleet. He's got basically 3 ships, and he's carrying some target practice with them. And it's kind of weird. So like when you looked at his rank, it was 83. He's only got G8 on Biggs, so Biggs is going to be really easy to take out. Vader, he's an excellent ship that does really great damage, and he's G12, so like these 2 ships are really carrying a lot of the load. And the problem is that Vader really is best as a reinforcement. Vader's reinforcement ability is fan-frickin-tastic. The damage over time and the offense down when you're using it with Tarkin, because Tarkin, he gives 20% offense for each debuffed enemy, doubled for Empire allies. So when you bring Vader off the bench, if your TIE fighter and your Vader are gonna get, 60% offense, 80% offense, it's a ridiculous sum, and they can do a ton of damage over those 3 turns that Vader's got those dots going. It's a mechanic that's, the synergy between them is just ridiculous. So one thing I would do if I were going to be playing this account is I'd be looking at either starting TIE Fighter with Biggs in the Hound's Tooth, or TIE Fighter, Biggs, and Xanadu Blood. Xanadu Blood also, you know, if he was working on this, he also applies breach to people. He double attacks on the basic, and he's got an AoE that's really good. You can call assist. It drops a target lock on the weakest ship that's out. It's a really great ship. You could also start with Biggs and the TIE Fighter and Silencer. Silencer's stun on basic is a really powerful starting mechanic for a fleet. This is definitely a change that I'd like to see. I mean, I think the better move would be something like Imp TIE and TIE Silencer with Hound's Tooth, or Xanadu Blood, Hound's Tooth, and the TIE Fighter, or TIE Silencer to start, depending if you need the target lock early, or the buff immunity, or if you want to get the stun on basic to start. So against like a slower fleet, you can use that stun and really start taking, really take advantage of it. It's like I'm pretty sure this is not. This says not copyrighted songs as I'm checking this thing as this. I guess it's because it's a remake of it. It doesn't, or a remix. It doesn't count as not copyright. Anyway, back to the roster view. So this is something I think is a real big problem, and it's going to be one of those things where the fleet, depending on how active his shard is, he might even slide out of top 100 if it doesn't get some attention. But the biggest thing I can say is that the Houndstooth should be a focus. Even a low-starred Bosk, you know, can really be a superstar in that ship, just because it's like the tank version of Nest, but in space. so that's something I'd like to see. But otherwise, you know, it's so far it's looking really good. Let's go and just see. I'm assuming his Darth Revan's going to be at the top of the pile. There it is. The Revans, Bastila, Yoda, TIE Fighter, Thrawn, Karth, Hermit. I mean, the top 5 are pretty much who I was expecting. I was thinking Bastila might be faster. I'm not quite sure what her speeds are. Oh no, that's good. Wow. Okay. So yeah, that means that this Thrawn's gonna be quite fast. Yeah, 255. That's decent. Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, I don't think he's got any issues with mods, obviously. so on the character side, I'd like to see some Night Sisters. I'd like to see some sort of work towards the Separatists or the Bounty Hunters. For the Seps, I mean, thinking like a General Grievous team would be lovely in this account. It might be opening the door for a Padme team as well. Padme's like basically the anti-meta. So he's going to be getting Malak from the looks of it. So it's like if you add a Malak to the Darth Revan and you also add a Padme team and a Grievous team, I mean, he's got literally all of the stuff that brings you nightmares as an opponent in in Grand Arena. So yeah, that's somewhere to go. I mean, if he wants to start getting some more rewards out of the raids, then obviously Night Sisters are easy gears, and there's no one raids like the Night Sisters. They're gonna add so many extra bits of gear to focus on these tunes here. Anyway, that's about all I've got to say on this. It looks like everything's, besides this fleet situation, is going pretty well, and yeah, it's like so thanks for tuning in. If you like the video, please like the video, subscribe, do all that stuff. If you don't like it, give me the thumbs down. I don't care. Just put a comment down below. Do whatever you gotta do. I'm gonna finish my brew, and I think I might be doing another one of these for one of my shard mates in a few minutes, so I'll just continue on. Anyway, you have a good night.